Hello and welcome to the companion tutorial for the Knit Happens headband. This is the finished product and I will be walking you through each section of the headband to demonstrate the particular techniques that are used in it. So I'm going to set this off to the side. I've got two contrasting colors of yarn, a size I crochet hook, a tiny bit of scrap yarn for provisional cast on, tapestry needle, 2 stitch markers, scissors, and a pair of size 8 needles. So we'll set the supplies off to the side except for the crochet hook and this scrap yarn. We'll start off by creating a slip knot. There are several ways to make slip knots. I prefer to wrap it around and I bring the long end up and push it through to create a slip knot. Insert the crochet hook. It doesn't really matter how long your tail is. You're going to be taking this yarn out at the end. So we'll start by chaining 20 stitches. So if you're not familiar, you'll wrap your yarn, pull the hook through one chain, hang on to it, wrap your yarn, and pull 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I only need 15, so 17 is fine. So I'm going to set that off to the side. With my main color, which will be yellow for this video. Now here's what I'm going to do. Is I want to pick up stitches from this chain. This is the provisional cast on. So take your chain, and if you hold it one way, you'll see that there are little V's running up. You want the other side, the one that has these bumps. So we're going to take the needle, insert it into a bump, to the first bump, or this, it doesn't really matter. We'll go into the second one because we have extra stitches. Take your yarn, loop it over the top, and holding onto this yarn with your left hand, you're going to pull the chain over the end of the hook, and that is your first provisional stitch. Alternatively, you can take your crochet hook and put it through that bump, wrap your yarn, and pull it through 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can do that. With your needle, you'll insert it. I wrap the other way with the needle than I do with the crochet hook. And I just pull it through. Insert the needle, wrap the yarn, and pull through. And set that off to the side. Insert, wrap from the bottom, and pull it through. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches. I need 15. Insert, wrap from the bottom, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So now we have 15 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now this is just going to be a video that demonstrates the particular concepts. It is not going to be a full tutorial of the headband. Information on where to purchase this pattern will be available in the description box. So we're going to bring our stitch markers over here, and we're going to use those just to delineate the edge stitches on each side. So it's a reminder of, oh, these stitches always need to be done this way. So as indicated in the pattern, we're going to knit 3. So take your needle, insert, wrap your yarn, and pull through 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to take one of these stitch markers and place it on. So you can see it on there, and then 9 more. And now we have 3 stitches left over here. So we have 3 on this end, 3 on this end. We'll put the stitch marker on and then knit the last 3 stitches. The first and last stitches are always knit. The first 3 and last 3 stitches always are knitted. You may have seen that I went in the back a couple times. When I pulled them up with the crochet hook, those stitches were twisted in the incorrect direction. So I was just correcting the twist of the stitch. Now in section 1, as you'll see in the pattern, there is a little bit of color work. And I'm going to walk you through a simple way of doing that color work. So I'm going to knit across, well, knit the first 3, then purl across. Till I get to my marker, slip the marker, knit 3. Always knit the first and last 3 stitches. Enter color 2. So we'll pull off a little bit of yarn, set it off to the side. I'm sure it'll roll back in here, but that's okay. So we'll knit the first 3, and these are always in the main color. The edge is always in color 1. We'll slip, and now we're going to add our second color. So we'll insert the needle, try to hold on to it with both hands, take your second color, wrap it around, and use that, whoops, just like your other yarn, and pull it through. Now we want to separate the tail from the live yarn. So we're going to pull that tail over here, just so it's out of the way. Now I'm going to pick up both colors with one hand, so you can see the yellow and the black. And now we're going every other stitch. So we'll insert, and we want to grab the yellow, pull it through. Insert, now we're gonna grab the black, pull it through, yellow. Sometimes you gotta help it along, black, yellow, and if you forget what color you're on, you just look to the previous stitch because it's always every other. Yellow, black. Now we're just going to, for simplicity's sake, drop the black yarn, slip our marker, and knit 3. So as you'll see in the pattern, the next time we do this, it's from the purl side. So this yarn will be carried all the way through. We will never cut this until the very end of the pattern, so sometimes we're gonna have to carry it back across so that it can be started on the correct side. But for the most part, it's always gonna be right where you need to use it. So I'm gonna work the next 2 rows and then I'll be back to show you the purl side. And we're back. So I have knitted 2 more rows. Here's my yarn, my live yarn that I need to pick up. So as usual, we will knit the first 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, slip. Now your first stitch from the wrong side is going to be yellow. So just purl that right away. Then I pick up both colors in my purl in my left hand. And just like the right side, I only grab the color that I want. You want to make sure that this stays a little bit loose. So you don't want these too tight. Insert, grab the yellow, and purl. Insert, grab the black, and purl. Insert, grab the yellow, black, sometimes it's a little bit tricky to grab them, yellow, black, drop your second color, pick up your main color, purl, slip your marker, move the yarn to the back, knit 3. And this is what it's going to look like on the wrong side. This is what it looks like on the right side. You can get that out of the way. So perhaps you knit the other way. I'm going to move my yarn over to this side. So you'll insert, wrap your yarn, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to work my way across, and then when we come back, I'll do this same section just from the other side. Okay, now we're back. I've knit another 2 rows, and now we're doing it, like I said, bringing the yarn from this side, English knitting. So I'll insert, wrap the yarn, and knit 2, 3. Slip the stitch marker and don't pick up the tail. All right, so now we'll insert, dropping that tail, the black, I just switch them. Yellow, but I'm still holding both. Yellow, black, yellow, black, yellow. And you want these stitches to be loose because we're carrying them across the back. If they're too tight, they're going to make it bow in really badly. Yellow, and last stitch. Oops, caught on my needle there. Black. And then we drop the black sometimes, things get a little tangled. Thankfully it's 2 colors, not too bad to undo. And 1, 2, 3. I'll do 2 more rows and then we'll come back and do it from the purl side, English style. So we're back again. Now we're going to do the purl side. So this is what the purl side looks like. And going to purl across this time. So, whoops, hold the yarn on the other side, right? So insert, wrap, knit, now I'll slip that marker, and instead of going in this way, we're going to go in this way. Oops. Get around that stitch marker, wrap, pull it through, pick this, pick your black up, and wrap. All right, so now you've got them both on there. I just hang on to them lightly over here while I wrap the color that I want with the other hand. Again, staying loose. Wrap and through, slip, and now we're back to knitting again. So we want to get our yarn up here where it belongs. Knit, wrap, knit, and wrap, knit, and wrap. And there we go, section 1. From both English and Continental. Now, once you get to section 2, it's the same idea. It's just every single row. So this is my proof of concept, has the very obvious Kitchener stitch in the back. So we've just completed section 1. And then section 2 will be the same idea, just shoop all the way through. Section 3 has some decreases and increases, and I will show you those, how to do the decreases through the back loop and then twist the stitch when you're coming back for the increases so that there's no yarn over eyelet. I've finished this section now, section 2, and I'm going to show you how to carry your other color back across, because the next time we need it on the right side, so it's going to have to be over here. So we'll start out as normal, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, slip our marker. Now we're going to purl, get these untangled. Inevitable in color work, they're going to get tangled with each other. Going to purl 1, then we're going to take the strands and twist them so that the yellow yarn is holding up the black one, and then we're going to purl 3 more times. 1, 2, 3. Now, because I have them twisted together over here, I'm going to twist them the other direction, which will then separate my 2 strands, because we still want to keep working with the yellow. And then we're going to purl 1, 2, and 3, and once again we're just going to twist them together. 1, 2, and now you can do one more just for good measure and untangling. Slip your marker over, bring your yarn to the back, and knit. So now we have carried this dark yarn back across so that when we need it next time, it's over here where we need it. So I'm going to do the next few rows and then catch up with you at row 6 of section 3, where we have our first decrease, and then I will show you how to do that. Okay, so now we're on row 6, the first decrease row. So here's what we want to do. We want to knit 3, slip the marker, then we want to knit 2 together through the back loop. So instead of going in this way like we normally do, we want to come in this direction and knit. And what it does is if I can get these out of the way, it leans this stitch this direction. So it lays this direction and looks nice. And that's why we go through the back loop there. So I'll come back to the next decrease row and I'll show you one more time. So we've worked this next row and now it's another decrease row, and this will show the importance of going through the back loop because we have these the opposite color stitches. All right, so 1, 2, 3, slip, and now we want to go through the back loop, and now our other colored stitch is the prominent one, and that's the one that we want really showing here. So we will keep going And I will meet back up with you at the first increase row, which is row 33. And I'll show you how to yarn over and then twist that stitch so it doesn't have a hole. So we'll see you back in a little bit. Now we're back with row 33, which is the first increase row after we've done the decreases. So when you lay it out flat, you can see very easily where it gets narrower. And that's the part that's going to go across your forehead. And then this part should cover your ears, across your forehead. And now we're going to increase to go back the other way. So we're going to knit 1, 2, 3, slip your marker, yarn over, and then knit across. So when you get a big one like that, I just take this and tuck it back in a little bit. It should self-correct, but if it bothers you, that's what you can do. And then we'll knit 2, 3, slip, purl across until we get to that marker, or not the marker, but the yarn over. And now we want to purl from over here. So we're gonna reach all the way back. See if I can get this in the right spot. So here's how it looks. Twist, reach all the way back here. So we're purling from the back loop. Purl and slip it off, and it twists that stitch so that there's not a big hole on your next round. And finish off 1, 2, 3. So I'll show you this grab one more time. Get this needle back here. You can even help twist it with your fingers so that you can find it easier. Purl from the back to twist that stitch. There we go. Knit 3. So now we're starting to go back out this way again. So I will finish up the rest of this off camera, and then I'll come back and show you how to Kitchener stitch this to finish it off. So I'll be back in just a jiffy with a fully completed headband, and then we'll stitch it up. I am back with a full headband. This is the whole thing. And I'm now going to show you how to remove this from the provisional cast on. And then I'm going to show you how to Kitchener stitch these two live edges together. So the first thing we're going to do is cut our yarn. You only need to cut one strand of your main color, but I'm going to show you how to Kitchener with this secondary color so that it really stands out and you can really see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to go back and redo it with the main color so that it hides. So you're going to want to take your yarn, let's pull this back to the middle here so you can see, and measure out about 4 lengths or so of the width of your project. More is always better. You do not want to run out of yarn when you're trying to seam. So I'm going to get my scissors and my needle. We're going to cut these right here and set all of these to the side. We will leave this needle on, and then we're going to come down to this other side, and when you did your chain, I allowed for extra stitches so that this would be easier to undo. So you just want to pull this strand out from the tail end. This was your slip knot end. This is the tail end. And we want to just slowly pull these out. And because we need to switch, we're actually just going to take the other needle from this side, and we're going to catch each of these live stitches as you pull out the provisional cast on. I like to tuck the needle first, then pull, slip the stitch on, pull, slip and pull, slip and pull all the way across. Make sure to grab this last stitch. Don't leave it hanging. Now you can get rid of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then on this side, we are very wonky, but that's okay. It's not a problem at all. And on this side, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Perfect. We will want the needle going the same direction. So now that we've slipped all these onto this needle, we're going to take our free needle and slip them back to the other needle. Now, when we lay this out, except it's too wide, right? If we lay it out flat and get all of our yarn figured out here, our needles, and now we'll scrunch it up. The needles are facing the same direction, and that's what we need. We need the points in the same direction. And because your tail is coming off of this side, the final needle from your final row is the needle that's going to determine which way you point. So I'm going to grab my secondary color here so that you can see what I'm doing better. And I'm going to thread my needle, and now we're going to Kitchener. We want to start by doing some setup stitches. So for the first one, so it was knit, purl. So you are going to purl, slip the needle as if to purl through this first stitch. And I want to make sure not to pull too tightly because we're connected over there. And then put the needle in as if to knit in the back needle. And this is going to be weird because my live stitch is over there. Okay, that's the setup. Then Kitchener is actually pretty easy. You just follow these 4 steps. So you're gonna knit, purl, so slip it, put the needle in as if to knit in the first stitch, as if to purl in the second stitch, as if to purl in the third stitch, and as if to knit in the 4th stitch. It will make sense. So we'll start knit and slip off and pull your yarn through, purl, but keep it on. Do not slip this one off. Back needle. Insert your needle as if to purl and slip it off. And then the second stitch as if to knit, but keep it on. And this is so long and I have so many strands I can't see. All right, and then we just keep doing that over and over. Knit, slip, and purl, I just have so many tails of yarn everywhere. All right, purl, and then purl, slip, knit, and keep it on. Knit, slip, purl, stays on, purl, slip, and knit. And it's creating a row of stitches. See that? You just keep going. Knit, slip, purl, purl, slip, and knit. Knit, slip, and purl, purl, slip, and knit. You don't want to pull too tight. You just want to get so that it's so that there's not like a bunch of loose. You just like finger tight, if you know what I mean. All right, and we'll keep going. Knit, slip, oh, caught on the end there. Knit, slip, and purl, purl, slip, and knit. Knit, slip, and purl, purl, slip, and knit. Knit, slip. Keep catching more and more. That's going to happen. And purl, purl, slip, and knit. Oh, we're caught here. It's okay. Just shoop, slide it off. It's okay. Gets a little harder as you go because you kind of want to hang on to these, but you need enough room to work. Okay, knit, knit, slip, and purl, purl, slip, and knit. Knit, slip, and purl, slip, keep pulling it up, and knit, knit, slip, and purl, purl, slip, and knit. You see we have 4 on each. So we're doing it right. You want to keep the same number of stitches on each needle. Knit, slip, and purl, purl, slip, and knit, knit, slip, and purl. Whoop, over the top again, that's okay. Just slide it off. Purl, slip, and knit. Knit, slip, and purl. Don't let that last one squeak off. Purl, slip, and knit. And finally, knit, slip, purl, slip. You did it. You made a Kitchener stitch seam. So some of these are really loose. And what you can do is you can just take your needle and you just tug them a little bit all the way across. See if you can see what I'm doing here. Just keep pulling on them. It's gonna get more and more probably, which is fine. Just keep tugging up and down as it goes. It's better for it to be too loose when you start than to be too tight. This last one can be a bit of a challenge, but you just kind of pull on them. And there we go. You have a nice Kitchener stitch seam, and when it's in yellow or when it's in your main color, you won't see it at all. Of course, on the back side, we've got this huge thing, and that's fine because I'm going to take this apart and I'm going to redo it in yellow. And that is how you Kitchener stitch. So that is the full tutorial of how to make the Knit Happens headband. And I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions, please get a hold of me and I would love to help you. Again, details of where to get this pattern and how to make it your own will be in the description. Thanks so much for watching and happy knitting.